If you're tired of trying to study for exams and tests, but you just can't seem to focus, or you don't know where to start or how to do it properly, then this video is for you. Because you clicked on my video since you don't want to study like this guy.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
But if you were smart enough to click on this video anyways, you would know that just simply eyeballing your study notes the same way you stare at that cute girl in class probably isn't going to do very much at all. So allow me to show you how studying for only 30 minutes can still get you amazing results. Before I tell you what actions to take, you need to understand a very important concept called leverage. But if you're a dumbass who has the attention span of a goldfish, you can go right ahead. I'll link the time and you can skip to whatever time it is to just know what to do. You see, the amount of value you produce is calculated through the amount of time you spend and the leverage of your work. The easiest example is comparing two people with different salaries. One person gets $15 an hour and the other person gets $30 an hour. The person who earns $30 an hour has a higher leverage, which allows him to produce 2 times more value in the same amount of time. Now let's connect this to studying and exactly how it's going to help you in exams. A dumbass with a brain the size of a rabbit turd might study by slamming a book into his head, thinking it will do something. This not-so-genius method of studying may only help you memorize 1% of the material you need to know per hour. Now compare that with a person who knows exactly what they're doing and breaking down everything into digestible pieces when studying. That guy will probably memorize about 70% of his material in an hour. So as you can see, being able to leverage your time through effective studying is very important.
But wait, doesn't that mean I should be studying as much as possible to get the most amount of work done?
It's definitely one way that works out, but you clicked on this video because you wanted to know if you could get the job done fast. And I'm going to show you how to do it, not how you can get more time to study. Although if you are someone who is very busy or needs a lot more time, I have a tutorial on how to get more time while balancing everything else. I'll link it at the end of this video if that helps. A higher leverage study session is one where you're not overwhelming yourself with a pile of books the size of the big fucking bed. It's a time when you're laser focused on the task at hand, not thinking about anything else. It's something that is extremely straightforward so that you don't have to waste brain power trying to figure out some bullshit 15-step study guide that your teacher gave you. Now I'm going to show you how you can apply leverage to all of your study sessions, and I'm going to give you 2 examples with 2 different types of tests so you can figure it out. You can either take my examples, my strategies, or you can use this and try to learn from it and make your own. The choice is up to you. I'll go over the calculation tests first. Now, these are your typical math, physics, maybe chemistry tests, where you're working with numbers and using lots of problem solving. Now, if it were up to me, I would take 2 of the hardest questions from every single lesson, every single concept or whatever. Just every single type of problem, basically. 2 of the hardest questions from each of those and do them. And then review them afterwards and, obviously take a look at the ones that I did wrong or I struggled on. Now you might be thinking, how the hell is this high leverage? Let's take a look at our criteria from before. The task is not overwhelming at all, since all you gotta do is just do a couple of questions that you've already kind of covered in the past. Check. When performing calculations, it's pretty difficult to get distracted since you literally got numbers in your head. As long as you put your phone in the other room, you're probably all set. Check. And lastly, it's extremely straightforward. There's only 2 instructions. Do 2 questions from each unit, and then review if needed. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When you first start out, it might take longer than you expect, because you're not used to studying this sort of way. But as you get more used to it, as you kind of go through this routine more, it's going to be a lot quicker, a lot more efficient, and you're going to be able to narrow that study session down into a very, very effective 30-minute study session. Next, let's go over theory-based tests. Now, these are usually more content-heavy and based off memorizing terms, events, or interactions. You usually see these types of tests in biology, geography, history, maybe a little bit of computer science, and probably business as well. Now, my strategy for these types of tests is actually one of my favorite strategies, which is using Quizlet. All you gotta do is make a Quizlet online in the website and fill it in with all the terms and concepts you're supposed to know. Then test yourself with all their different features like flashcards or actual tests. Now, again, if you put this through our original criteria, it's not overwhelming at all since the flashcards hit you one term at a time and you can reuse them infinitely to memorize anything. You'll be constantly focused from its test-like environments, which makes it hard to just drop everything in the middle and start scrolling. And finally, Quizlet organizes everything for you, so pretty straightforward. Whew! This video had a lot of content, and sometimes I may get carried away or skim over something that might be important or should have been explained. But I think overall it was a pretty solid tutorial, and if you agree, subscribe, leave a comment to let me know how the advice helped you, how it affected you, whether or not it's helpful at all. And yeah, I'm gonna keep making these videos and hopefully you can keep watching them. Peace.